Okay, greetings again, everybody. Okay, so today's video will be on the topic enlargement and reduction, and that topic involves us taking a shape and enlarging it or reducing it to a particular ratio, right? So, the ratio that we will be using today is 3 to 5, right? And it is a reduction. So, since it's a reduction, the original shape will be the larger ratio. So for example, if let's say a line on the shape measures 50 millimeters, when that is reduced to a ratio of 5 to 3, now that length of the new shape for that same side would be now 30 millimeters. So that's the gist of enlargement and reduction. So all the sides would change proportionally according to the ratio. So let's say the ratio is 2 to 1, and it's an enlargement. It means that the shape will be enlarged to twice the size of the original shape in terms of the sides. So let's begin. This is the shape that we're going to use, and in order to draw the shape, we're going to turn on our outline. I have mine turned on already, and the length of AB, as you can see on the shape, is 65 millimeters. Okay, so I don't think it's 65, I think it's 75. Yes, so that's the shape. So that's AB is equal to 75. Now BC is 80, and the angle there is 60 millimeters, 60 degrees, sorry. So you're going to set this, ensure that it's at 30, even though the angle is 60. 60 is an increment of 30. So when you go up, you'll see 30, and you'll see 60. Hold it there, then you type 80, and you get the side, right? The next thing that you're going to do is you have two sides. You have AB, you have BC, you have the angle between is 60 over this side. So it's 120 over this side, right? So that's why I used 60. Um, Here now, AE is 90 degrees. AEB rather is 90 degrees. So that you are going to draw a line that is 90 degrees, and the length of EA is 100, right? And the length of DE is also 100. So this is what you're going to do, because the length over this side is 50. This is 50, this is 100, this is 100. So you need to know where the point is. A, B, C, D. You need to find point D. You know where point E is, you know where point C is. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to take the arc command, and it's asking you to specify the start point of the arc, but we want to specify the center first. So press C, enter. So the center is here. Now it's asking you for the start point of the arc. So just like using our compass, I'm going to set the compass somewhere around here, the mouse. Then I'm going to type the measurement, which is 100. Then it's going to give you the option to swing. But what I should have done, I should have selected my construction layer, my zero layer. This layer is turned off. Let me turn it back on. So I'm going to do the arc thing again. Press C, click the arc command, press C for enter, and then press enter to select the center. Then I'm going to stretch. It's like stretching a compass. I'm going to type the measurement, which is 100, and notice I'm swinging it anti-clockwise. If I swing it clockwise, it will do like this. So I always swing anti-clockwise. I have the option to switch direction. I can hold on to control and switch the direction. I'm not sure if that feature is here for Windows. I'm holding on to control. but let's just swing it anti-clockwise, right? So I'll do something like this. Then for the next side, so from here to anywhere on this arc is 100. So what I'm going to do now is select the arc command again, then press C, enter, click here where point C is, and I'm going to bring up this type 50 because that's the length of A, B, C, C, D. And I'm going to type 50, press enter. Hold on, let me do that again. I did something wrong. So I click the arc, then press C, enter. Click on the point where the pivot point. This would be your compass point. Then you're going to stretch and type 50. Then you're going to swing anti-clockwise. And if you notice, it cuts the lines, they intersect. Then you're going to go back to your outline layer. After going back to your outline layer, you're going to select the line command and finish the drawing. So you're going to click where these arcs meet. If it don't look like it's meeting properly, just escape and type regen. Press escape, then type regen. So now it readjusts the arcs. Then let's go ahead and draw it again. Right there. Then it will complete the shape. So this length of this is 75, 80, 50. This is 100. And this line is also 100. Alright, so now that we have drawn the shape, it's time to reduce the shape. Alright, the ratio is 5 to 3. Right, so we're going to do a reduction. So we have to divide this in 5. Right, so this is how we're going to do it. In order to divide any line in 5, let me go back to my construction layer. You draw a line under it, any length, doesn't matter. Once you draw that line, you're going to cut up that line in 5 using the arc command. So when you select the arc command, it normally asks you for the starting point, but we normally want to use the center. So press C, enter, click on this point, then at any point under it, start swinging. Click, then click. Now I have one division, so I'm going to, once I have the one division, now I click on the arc, then click copy, then click at the starting point of the line, then click on the arc. Let me see something. You have to zoom in to ensure that it's clicking right at the intersection and not on the not on the triangle. The triangle is the center of the arc, not where the arc intersects. So you get it? So right at the intersection where the X is. So that is 3, not at the triangle, the X. 4, zoom in, depends on how you swing it. 5. So now that I have that, I'm going to connect right at the X. I'm going to connect this. Once I've done that now, I'm going to select this line, click copy, zoom in to the intersection point again, and I'm going to paste it at all the points, the rest are intersection points. So, see? So this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to use my trim command and trim all of that. So now I've divided this line in 5 equal parts. Alright? So 75 divided by 5 is 15. So this line is supposed to be measured 15. One division, 15. So that's correct. Alright? So this is what I'm going to do. Once I've done that, I'm going to use my construction line, and I'm going to connect them to all the points. of the shape, ensuring that it's on the X or the intersection point. Alright? 1 minute. So after I've done that now, this is where the fun part comes in. I am going to now copy. Let me do something. Let me do a bit of labeling first. Um, let me do a bit of labeling first. I'm going to select my dimension. I'm using this for dimensions and labeling. So let me select the dimension layer. I should call it dimension and labeling layer. So I'm going to select text. For those who don't remember how to use the text, there's a video on it. So check my page. I'm going to select the first point where I want the text to be, and it is asking me for the opposite corner. I'm not going to do that as yet. I'm going to press H, enter. H is to give me the height. Then I'm going to use the mouse to draw down the height that I want. So from here to here, the text can be this long. That is okay. Let me see. Let me use 3. So this will be the size of the text. And then I'm going to type 1. Let me you can copy this, but let me see how much is it compared to this. Alright, that probably is too small. So let me do this again. And let me click A. Click on the first point. Press H, enter to do the height. Then I type 5, enter. Now the text is bigger. I wonder if this is too big now. It's a bit too big. I can highlight it and change it up here from 5 to 4. 4 looks better. So I'm going to copy. I'm going to select the copy command, select the number, press enter, and then use these points and copy them across. So this is what I'm going to do. After I've done that, I'm going to just double click on the words, or the letters, the numbers rather, and I'm going to just change them to what I want them to be. Alright, so the ratio is 5 to 3. I really need the third one. So all these lines, these are the lines that are going to change. So I'm going to copy the first line that's at 5. I'm going to paste it at 3 at this point, right? Now I'm going to trim the excess where it cuts this line. Then I'm going to take this one, then copy it from this point to this point. Alright, you should know how to use copy by now. Then I'm going to trim. Then I'm going to take this point, click on copy, click here. Then I'm going to paste it here. Then I'm going to trim. So now you have a shape that is reduced at a ratio of 5 to 3. Right? So whatever this line is, this is 5 to 3. This is 5 to 3. So if you divide by 5, if you divide this length, which is 80 by 5, and multiply it by 3, you're going to get this. So, right? So this is what? 80. 5 divided by 80 times 3 is supposed to give you this number. This is 50 divided by 5 times 3 give you 30. So the ratio is working. 100 divided by 5 times 3, 60. Alright. So the ratio has worked. So there you have it. We are going to also now do enlargement. So we're going to enlarge this same shape. Oh, by the way, we're supposed to label the shape. So I'm going to copy this and call this point A. B, C. I'm going to make the numbers bigger, the letters bigger rather. So I'm copying and pasting. You should know how to do that already. I think it should be the other way around. This is B. C. This is B. And this is E. So this is the original shape. So these numbers, I'm going to move them and put them here. So they don't mix up with what I'm labeling. Alright, so the reduction shape, the reduced shape, this point will now be called B prime. So you put B1, but you're going to highlight the 1 and press subscript. So you have it like that. C, you're going to copy C, and you're going to have C1, C prime 1. Okay. So you should see what I'm doing here. Let me show you. So I copy the letter, paste it, then I double click the letter of the ensure that is highlighted, then the double click. I said, oh, yes, double click, and then click where you want to put the 1, you highlight the 1, and then press subscript, just like in Microsoft Word. Alright, so AB is 50. So this is what I want you to do. You can write under it the measurements. So AB was originally 75 millimeters. BC was 80 millimeters. Angle B was 120. 60 was over the other side, so 120. Alright, I'm going to put a small one, put superscript for my degree sign. Then CD was, I can pull this across so extend. I can just press enter. You have to use multi-text, multi-line text, not single line. CD is 50. BE is 100. A was also 100. So you have how many lengths? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you have two angles that were given. So the last angle was angle A, is equal plus 90. Put a O and then superscript it. Right. So that is it. These are the measurements. So you have it beside this drawing. So this is the second drawing. So we're going to just leave it as it. We won't enlarge it. So this is the enlargement and reduction exercise.